Mabuhay, Kamustika, welcome, how are you? This is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. But I want her to have my money. Have you ever heard a guy say that in relation with his Filipina girlfriend or his wife especially? The other day I was visiting with a friend whose Filipino wife had arrived from the Philippines a few days earlier. He was talking about family acceptance and made a statement that was so simple, yet I had not been able to put it so clearly, even though I felt the same way. It was about money. Please subscribe to Love Beyond the Sea for a channel that is all about helping the foreign man to be successful in pursuing a Filipina all the way to the altar. My perspective might be different than what you're used to, but go ahead, leave a comment, get notifications for upcoming videos. Click on the word add after clicking on the bell to complete that process. I just love the comment that this man made. He said that people close to him were saying the expected things like, she's after your money. She's only after that. And his response was a thing of beauty. He replied, but I want her to have my money. So simple and educational. This is the way I felt when I married my wife 7 years ago. Can that be? If the Filipina is well off, she isn't likely to be looking for a foreigner to marry. Just something to be aware of. As I grew older, I wanted to marry a woman who didn't have much, so I could feel like I was giving her a better life. So I could certainly relate to his comment. Of course, she is marrying him for a better life, no kidding. If I had a daughter, I think I would counsel or advise her to do the same thing. Marry a man who can give you a better life, hardworking, responsible, and he wants to give you a better life. You know, he's not tight with his money, stingy. He's generous. The money is simply synonymous for a better life. I find it appalling that people can think in such black and white terms like she only is marrying you for your money. What a repulsive comment that is. And I have heard such ignorance from people, myself, in my own circles. Now I'll add that money just by itself is not enough to sustain a relationship. If someone said to me, you are only marrying her, your wife, for her body, I would take offense to that. I'll be the one to tell anyone why I am doing something. If someone said to my wife, he is only marrying you for your body, I would hope she would reply that she wants him to have her body. It wouldn't matter to me if I was filthy rich. If I marry someone, it, meaning all of our money, assets, belongs to them as much as it does to me. I consider it our money, not mine. It matters not to me if she comes from the marriage with no monetary assets at all. What do I care? I am the one who's supposed to provide for her. I could have provided for someone else, couldn't find anyone to take that money. The fact that my Filipino wife is entitled to my money is the way it should be. In my case, my wife didn't pester me to find out what my assets were. We had agreed to marry, and I didn't show her any financial information until I met her, just a couple of weeks before the wedding that she was busy organizing. I included all the financial information I could to give us the best chance at this spousal visa. She has never made a big deal of what I have, and often I've kind of wondered if she even understood the relevancy of all these details, because things are different in the Philippines and dealing with pesos instead of dollars. Because she's grown up in a living day by day life. So I love my friend's comment, and I will use it in the future if someone insults my intelligence by enlightening me about her financial motives. Of course, she is looking for someone to provide a better life for her, and I want my wife to have my money. I also want her to have my house. I want my wife to have my car. I want my wife to have my furniture, so on. I want my wife to have everything I have. Kind of belongs to her as my wife, I would think. All of those things are not as valuable to me as having her a good wife. I have had all those things for a long time, and I was miserable as a single person. And after having been married for 7 years, which just doesn't seem possible, I feel like I have gained everything and lost nothing. Please leave a comment if you agree or disagree, or if you have encountered times when your wife's motives were challenged. Maybe it was hearsay, somebody heard that somebody said that, or somebody shocked you and said it to your face. But let me sum this up with 3 quick points. It is the husband's choice what to do with his money. Thankfully, the husband has a choice in what to do with his money, and after considering a host of things, can decide to marry the woman of his choice and give it to her. Also, he is perfectly fine giving it to her. Whomever he marries is not forcing him to give it to her or even forcing him to marry her. And also, he gets what he needs too. Whatever I end up leaving my wife one day, I think will not be greater than the satisfaction I have received from being married to her. The Filipina is likely going to want her own job anyway, unless you have your own children together. I think she'll want to work because she won't expect her husband to just hand over the money. She'll want to earn it herself. And I will link a video in the description box called 4 Concerns for My Filipina Wife that I have when I die, because my desire to provide for my little woman goes beyond my lifetime. But I want her to have my money. I hope you'll feel that way when you meet your very own love beyond the sea.